The fitness world has always been fast changing, but did the life altering last 2+ years create additional opportunities for supplement brands to focus on endurance activity participants? Maybe we all want to wipe this from our memory, but it wasn't too long ago that gyms across the country were closed. Bikes, both traditional and stationary exercise ones, were sold out everywhere, and going for a run was pretty much one of the only legally approved ways to leave your home. While these disrupted fitness routines didn't last forever, they did create a sticky enough imprint that has started to produce some profound contagion effects. So, what am I kind of talking about here? Are people running more, cycling more, swimming more, and maybe like hiking and walking more now? Yes. Though these data points in a vacuum wouldn't necessarily be a representative sample of the average person, I think collectively they provide a glimpse into how the pandemic changed the fitness landscape, maybe forever. According to annual data insights published by Garmin Connect, the fitness tracker company with an estimated 18 million users, it has seen year over year growth in both 2020 and 2021 for running, cycling, swimming, and hiking, walking activity. Strava, which is the leading social fitness platform and especially popular with runners and cyclists, just surpassed 100 million athletes in May of 2022. The company stated in the announcement that they've seen a tremendous shift in the importance of movement and sport in people's lives, with members recording 2.5 billion activities in the last 18 months alone. Peloton has seen its connected fitness subscriptions grow from about 886,000 in March of 2020 to just under 3 million 2 years later. And the average monthly workout per connected fitness subscriber has grown from 17.7 workouts to 18.8. Converging with another like COVID-19 effect tailwind, Zwift, a part gaming, part fitness platform that allows people to race on stationary bikes from their homes, has quietly grown to around 4 million users. Additionally, the numbers of hikers have skyrocketed, seeing 135% year over year growth in those hitting the trails. And then visitation to the national parks have also increased substantially over the last 2 years. According to the racing event platform runsignup.com, endurance activity participants are also getting more competitive. You had 169% year over year growth in triathlon participants, 25% more marathoners, 28% more 5K and fun run racers, and across all categories overall, it's been up 22%. As you can see collectively, these numbers provide glimpses into the widespread growth across endurance activity type, interest, and competitive level. But before I shift into what this could potentially mean for the supplement industry and brand specifically, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this content, NuLiv Science. Over the last 25 years, NuLiv Science has grown into a leading full range ingredient supplier, early stage developer of nutraceuticals, and a trusted turnkey service provider to the dietary supplement and functional food and functional beverage industries. That includes helping brands targeting the endurance sports market. By developing a unique fermentation technology, NuLive Science can grow high quality Cordyceps sinensis mushrooms for its patented ingredient known as Cordyceps prime. This parasitic mushroom has been used in China for thousands of years as a tonic for energy, vitality, endurance, and supporting a healthy immune system. If you're interested in obtaining more information around why brands are formulating with NuLive Science ingredients to take their products to the next level, head over to nulivescience.com or reach out to me specifically, and I'll kind of directly put you in contact with the relevant team member. So, whether race signups, connected fitness, equipment platforms, statistics, or maybe wearable activity data and or anything else tells us the whole story or not about the changing fitness landscape, Let's kind of open the aperture a little bit and just kind of consider how drastically different the world looks because of the coronavirus pandemic. I could list numerous ways that human behavior has changed, and arguably this all blends into a net positive tailwind for what I've been talking about. But just think about how 4 times more people can now work from home compared to pre pandemic. Then kind of think about the subsequent time savings that is caused when you eliminate a daily commute. Yes, we'd be ignorant to believe that all or even most humans reverted that extra free time into workout time. But we must imagine that some percentage did begin their fitness journeys because the pandemic granted them time to actually start it. Are these new entrants rushing to get a traditional kind of physical gym membership? The probability is low, as the Global Health and Fitness Association states the total gyms in the US have fallen by 25% since 2019. That being said, physical gyms will not disappear, just as connected fitness isn't the absolute answer either. Each environment does a different job. Change has absolutely happened in the fitness space, though it might not be the kind of like death of physical gyms at the hands of connected fitness rhetoric we heard all throughout 2020. So, how are these kind of new entrants into the market exercising? Well, look no further than the most popular forms of exercise that have always been walking, running, and cycling. For supplement brand owners, especially those positioned in the sports nutrition niche, your kind of next step is assessing if this potential leading indicator of long term change justifies a strategic action in your specific business. That's because chasing every single trend, even the extremely tempting ones, is not the answer, especially when they do not align with your current brand strategy or maybe an upcoming rebrand that you have in mind. But let's assume that taking advantage of the trending endurance opportunity does make sense for your sports nutrition brand. I'm going to kind of run down a few key areas that must be considered. Firstly, how will you support these consumers? Secondly, what's your sales channel strategy? And then thirdly, maybe product development approach. So I'll start with some thoughts around supporting the endurance consumer. For decades, sports nutrition brands have largely ignored endurance activity. The easiest way to see what I'm kind of talking about is take a quick glance at the Instagram feeds of leading sports nutrition brands. What do you see? It's mostly going to be media that's inside of a traditional gym, right? So, where are those sports nutrition brands talking directly to those walkers, runners, cyclists, swimmers, etc.? Where are the demand and conversion driving marketing assets to support it? And where are these sports nutrition brands saying, hey, we are here for you, we are actually you? Well, there are a few sports nutrition brands that match kind of what I'm talking about, but I want to initially bring up a brand that we can see tangible financial performance for because they are a publicly traded company. Science in Sport describes itself as a performance nutrition brand that provides optimal solutions across the nutritional need states of energy, hydration, and recovery. That could apply to several exercise modalities, but you can kind of see from their social media, it's a lot of endurance activities. They have been around for 30 years supporting the endurance athletes. They also reported 30% sales growth in its latest annual earnings. So to me, it looks like authentically penetrating the cultures of these sports and being positioned within the endurance trend can result in positive financial outcomes. So, what happens though if your sports nutrition brand doesn't have the same long legacy of reaching endurance athletes? Like, how can you pivot? A great case study would be the sports nutrition brand Bear Performance Nutrition. When it launched in 2012, founder Nick Bear was focused mostly on bodybuilding, and naturally, his sports nutrition brand followed along with his personal interests. That pursuit continued for kind of a handful of years until 2018 when Nick Bear competed in his first marathon. Since that time frame, Bear Performance Nutrition has successfully blended more endurance sports into its marketing and has also influenced a lot of its product development. An important point to kind of bring up is that Nick Bear has also become a sizable fitness influencer over the last decade. This helps him attract a like minded community regardless of his changing fitness passions. Maybe you aren't a front facing, charismatic entrepreneur that participates in endurance sports and is willing to kind of put their life out for social media to see. And I totally get that. That's not very common. So, leveraging influencer marketing becomes even more important when you are pivoting your sports nutrition brand towards kind of these endurance sports. Partnering with individuals that are known in the endurance world is a must have strategy when you consider the challenging sales channel landscape. Outside of e commerce, like where does the average endurance activity participant shop? You have the kind of specialty retailer, but either it's like this massive dispersion of independent shops, which are extremely tough to sell into efficiently, or you have smaller store count that makes it a bit of a kind of like destination trip for shoppers. Taking this kind of a step further, supplement merchandising in those types of retailers are usually not in the most desirable high traffic areas. And I wish I had good news in terms of like the sales channel challenge solving itself in the near term, if not ever. But I tend to believe that all of this kind of long tail merchandise is best suited for online, anyways. That's why you even see specialty supplement retailers like GNC and the Vitamin Shop stock most of its like endurance products only online. And then since we are talking about products, it's important to kind of understand that most endurance activity participants likely won't be attracted to the bigger, faster, stronger product marketing mentality. Performance has long been the foundation of sports nutrition. But that being said, I'd argue that the historical focus has incrementally become more disconnected from the average supplement buyer's psychographics. Even in a gym environment, most people are not there to build muscle and increase sport performance. They're there for kind of general wellness reasons. This is similar if we're talking about somebody that's sweating on a piece of Peloton equipment, maybe like a bike. It's very likely they won't be looking to break records in the next like 100-mile road race in town. So while sports nutrition products could provide benefits to the endurance athlete, it's about meeting the consumer where they are right now. And if we're talking about this from a product perspective, that means the purchasing volume is still mostly in the hydration, protein, energy beverage, nutritional snacking, and carbohydrates categories. That's not to say that you should and you're not required to formulate products that lack any semblance of innovation. Just make sure you consider the strong correlation in the functional CPG categories between innovation and needed level of education. And that's kind of the other aspect of meeting the consumer where they are right now. How do you translate these ingredients that are known within the bodybuilding space into a language that's understood by endurance athletes at kind of any level? A content marketing delivery trend that maybe bodes well for education does stem from TikTok. And I know people have a ton of differing opinions about TikTok, but if you consider it in the sense of like the sports nutrition industry or maybe the supplement industry as a whole, this has become a very important social media platform and it has helped really kind of drive awareness for some of the most popular sports nutrition ingredients like creatine. I just want to kind of end on some quick final thoughts. More than ever, humans are beginning to realize that movement is an essential component in quality of life. In my opinion, endurance sports, regardless of the level, will continue to grow as the fitness wellness link strengthens. Sports nutrition brands will have to recognize that the market is less concerned about increased performance and more about health, longevity, and immunity. Are you willing to kind of look past the challenges caused by this market evolution and see the massive opportunities? I guess the decision's up to you. But if you enjoyed this YouTube video, hit the like button to support me. Also, help me get to my short term goal of 2,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to see you join me on this journey, but we need to fix the fact that slightly less than 70% of you that are watching this YouTube video right now are not subscribed to my channel, and that makes me extremely sad. But I do want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.